Well, so much for what the left was pushing the last couple of days. They were claiming that Donald Trump was surrendering a total capitulation to Jacob Fry and little tampon Timothy Walz, but obviously that wasn't the case. No, President Trump was simply signaling that he'd be willing to work with them if they actually cooperated. But of course, in true Democrat fashion, they signaled one thing and then ended up doing the exact opposite, which we predicted almost instantaneously. They'll pretend as if they're willing to cooperate and start policing the streets and releasing the illegal aliens from their prisons. But then a couple days later, and a total 180, and President Trump warned them if they didn't start cooperating with the feds, well, then the double down would come. And fast forward a couple days later, not only are Democrats not cooperating, but it seems they're escalating across the nation. An army of paid agitators have been unleashed, and not just in Minneapolis, in multiple Democrat cities. And here's the Trump response. I have instructed Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem that under no circumstance are we going to participate in various poorly run Democrat cities with regard to the protests and or riots unless and until they ask us for help. We will, however, guard, and very powerfully so, any and all federal buildings that are currently being attacked by these highly paid lunatics, agitators, and insurrectionists. Please be aware that I have instructed ICE agents and or Border Patrol to be very forceful in this protection. There will be no spitting in the faces of our officers, there will be no punching or kicking the headlights of our cars, and there will be no rocks or brick throwing at our vehicles or at our patriot warriors. If there is, those people will suffer an equal or more consequence. In the meantime, by copy of this statement, I am informing local governments, as I did in Los Angeles when they were rioting at the end of the Biden term, that you must protect your own state and local property. Really no need to continue. You basically get the gist of it. Doesn't exactly sound like a back down. No, and I'd argue now's not the time to back down. I'd argue it's probably time for the Insurrection Act. Take a look at what's happening across the country.
You can see an officer back there. He's alone, and they're just throwing things at him. I mean, it's just pretty incredible that these protesters have overtaken this, and there's no police. I don't see anybody here to kind of manage this crowd.
And of course, Democrats, as per usual, are instructing their local police departments to sit on their hands and do absolutely nothing. They're enabling the mass violence and riots across the country. They're enabling domestic terrorism, allowing these lunatics to storm and attack federal buildings. Enough pussyfooting around and being too scared to do the right thing to enforce the law. Enough being worried about what the mainstream media is going to write. Invoke the Insurrection Act and start arresting these people one by one. This is not First Amendment protected activity. These are illegal, violent riots, and these people should be held accountable for their actions.